Okay, now we're good. All right, everybody, welcome to, I think it is episode 8 of the podcast. It's been 2 weeks as of this recording since we have posted anything, so we thought we'd do an update. So I am here, Krieger Margin, and Lyson Feng here is here as well.
Yeah, been a while.
Yeah, it's been a little bit. Mike's unable to make it. He has to work. But that is where we are at. Hold on one second. I gotta.
Yeah, everybody's had a lot of stuff going on as of late, so personal wise. So
Yeah, it's been busy. I had my surgery and I was moving. And everything else was going on. We're starting to kind of get the ball rolling though again. But yeah, so I think this is episode 8. Every time I lose track of what we actually have, but we've kind of started. We've got some episodes out. This last one I was really excited because I was going through editing on there, and you know how a pain in the butt the copyright deal is.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I was actually able to, how in the review we referenced Ghost Ship.
Right, great movie.
Were you able to catch up on the episodes up to where we're at yet?
Yeah, on Fall House of Usher or whatever one. Yeah, you're ready for episode 4, right?
Yes, that's correct. So on episode 2, what was your take on the acid thing?
I mean, mildly took me by surprise, but in like, what way exactly are you meaning my take on it? Like how
just
it worked,
what was your reaction? Yeah, like what was your reaction to it? Do you think it had a good effect?
I mean, it definitely had an effect. Although at the same time, I feel if they're going after the family, they kind of took out a whole lot more than just the family in that aspect.
Well, and in the review at that time, I was thinking maybe this is like a 7 deadly sins thing, and all of those people were dying for the same sin that he was doing. So maybe they, because if you noticed, she tried to get the wife out because she hadn't yet sinned yet. So obviously that didn't work out.
Yeah. So, see, I'm just as I was watching it, I was more sitting there trying to remember the actual like Edgar Allan Poe Fall the House of Usher story, and for some reason my mind is just fully blanked on any of the actual story in that one.
Well, another thing that's interesting that me and Mike were talking about in the review is if you look on Netflix, each one of the episodes are titled after one of his works.
Really?
Yeah. So that one was the Red Mask or whatever, or Mystique. Yeah. Can you recall anything
Masquerade
about that
or
one?
whatever.
Yeah, because wasn't that about the same kind of thing? Like there's symbolism if it's Masquerade.
Yeah, there's definitely something there. I can't. It's been so long since I've really went through all the Edgar Allan Poe stuff. So, other than like the big mainstream ones, a lot of them are just slipping my brain.
Yeah. So I think they're doing a lot of symbolism there. But my comparison that I made with it is that reminded me a lot of the opening to Ghost Ship when the wire kills everybody but the little girl.
Yeah, kind of that like oh holy shit kind of thing.
Yeah, because if you remember Ghost Ship, the way it starts is it goes into it. It has this kind of cheesy like text graphic on it, and then just a bunch of people singing on a boat, and everything looks great.
Dancing, and then
that's one that like I felt like
love that.
Ghost Ship is a really overlooked movie, but I think it goes down for me. It's one of those childhood movies that stuck with me because I watched it when I was too young to what I should be watching it, and it just like it stuck in my brain.
Right, like that beginning of that movie was great, and then I love the end. Just the end of it. Obviously, at this point, spoiler, yes, but at this point, the movie's old enough. You should have seen it by now. But the end where her crew is walking onto the other ship with the guy, and all of a sudden, just I think it's Not Falling by Mudvayne just starts playing, and just the scream during that song as they're going is just perfectly timed in my head of using the music so well for the movie.
Yeah.
Shit.
And I mean, I don't know how old you were when we watched it, but I know I was less than 10 whenever I watched it.
What year did it come out?
I don't know
remember
why, but I'm gonna Google it. But in my brain, I am saying 1985, but I know that's not right.
85. 85 is when I was born.
2002. 2002.
Say, what would I have been then? I would have been, probably 15, 16?
Yeah, see, I would have been 7 when it came out.
Yeah.
So, I was definitely youngin'. But I was able to edit that entire scene into the review, and I didn't get dinged for copyright.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah, so I'm glad for that. I don't know if you looked at some of the stats for the videos. Like, we're getting good views and everything on them, but the watch time's lower. So I'm hoping. I think a part of it was the mic audio. Have you listened in on any of it yet?
I've kind of skimmed here and there, but not honestly that much.
So Mike's audio was not good on either one of them, and I
mean, is
ran
he
it
still
through.
having the same issue that he had with the like staticky and
No,
like
it's not
almost
static.
robotic and
It
stuff?
sounds the quality is just really low, so it sounds like he's really far away.
Oh, so yeah.
And I ran it through my AI program, and it made it sound significantly better, but it still doesn't sound great.
Right.
And I listened to the point when on average people are leaving, and it's whenever Mike starts talking a lot. So,
Ouch.
yeah. So I was like, wow, 40 seconds on both videos. That's kind of weird. Let's see. And then, oh, yep, that would be a mic. So
Yeah. Could be an issue, which I mean, I know he's working on it and he's getting all shit figured out, so hopefully it'll fix itself.
Yeah, he should be leveling out here pretty soon. Get back to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to resist it because I don't know if you can tell by my tone when we're texting. I'm getting aggravated by it, but at the same time,
I can tell.
At the same time, like, he shouldn't be. Like, he should. He's got to pass because he's got, it's a big adjustment. But it's been long. You know what I mean? I mean, at the same time, it's been long enough.
Right.
I just feel like,
but he's also just got the new job going too. So
yeah, and the new job doesn't pay that much, so he's probably struggling there. But like, it's better than where he was, So, But anyways, I'm trying to fight that frustration because I'm just
I
like,
get it. I mean, I haven't really been much help myself in that aspect, but
yeah, but you've got good reasons too, and you've got a pass for that as well. It's just, there's passes for it, but at the same time, I'm just like, man, I'm doing a lot of work here, not getting any help.
Yeah, like for me, it's mostly like mental and just my hours were all sorts of fucked up. This week, they're actually kind of back to normal, and I'm hoping they stick to that usual 10 to 6 thing so I can get as shitty as my sleep schedule is normally. It was completely fucked before.
Yeah, my coworker, who's my other full-time person, so at Lowe's you have shift assignments, right?
Right.
So I'm a mid-shift assignment, so I'm supposed to be doing mainly mid-shifts, and then my opener, he's supposed to do mainly opening shifts.
Yeah.
But that's if we're well staffed. Since we're just 2 full-time people, and we have like the department manager and then 1 part-time person that's in like 2 days a week, and that's we're 5 people short from whenever I first started a year ago. But between me and my opener, we are very good that we can do 5 people's jobs. So why would they hire anybody else? Is the thought process.
Well, that's kind of the good thing now with we got the new person, which was partly why my hours were all out of whack because I was training them and stuff and had to open and train them until it all got settled. But they're able to fucking do all kinds of stuff where now at this point, I'm like, okay, I've been so used to basically playing catch up all day with the other opener we had, having to do half of their job and my own, that I was used to running around that now I'm like spending like an hour at the end of the day going, what the hell am I going to do now? I have nothing left to do.
Yeah,
Stuff.
my problem at my job is I'm very overqualified for the position that I'm in. Like, I am too good for my not being a department manager, just because I kept switching companies. So
right.
So it's almost like we have like two department managers in the department.
Yeah, like you know what you're doing, you're just not getting to pay for it or whatever.
Yeah, and I constantly am like, hey, Myke, we got to go do this, we got to do this, we got to do this to make this better. And
yeah.
Luckily, my management structure is really cool. You have an idea like that, they support it 100%, and I've never had any pushbacks on anything I've said. And we have tripled our sales from last year. All our credit cards are way up. We're doing really good.
So yeah,
Like
we're
historic gains.
at least like Melissa and me and bakery wise, like overall the stores people are the same, but our department itself, yeah, we're like open to ideas by all means. Just all we ask is don't come in and immediately start saying, well, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong. Like come in, give what we do a shot, and then if you have a better idea, by all means let us know and we'll try it. Just
we have
don't
like
automatically jump on us saying we're doing it wrong when it's worked for 3 years almost at this point. Actually, at this point, 3 years. I think my 3-year mark is either, it might be tomorrow. It's in the next couple days.
So we
I
have
have to look that up.
the way we usually do it is there's an open conversation about something, and I'm like, hey, listen, I think that if we do it this way instead, it'll be better. And we kind of have an open discussion, and sometimes and that's where we talk it out and finalize exactly how it should work. And sometimes I've came up with an idea that's like half right, and then as we're talking about it, we're like we formulate it and iron it out and make it the most efficient that it can be. So that's
my
really
3-year mark is in 4 days. It's on the 8th.
I think I'm about a year and a half in. I know I'm well over a year. Here, but I actually worked at the same location like 5 years ago for a couple years, so I'm really like 4 years in here. But
but question is, do they probably don't carry all that over, especially if you were gone for a long period. Like if it might have been a couple months, I'm sure they would have been like, all right, yeah, jump back on.
Oh no, I jumped ships to their competitor. Took all the knowledge that they just showed me.
Then yeah, they were probably like, oh fuck this dude.
Yeah, but they made a mistake and not. The reason I left is because they wouldn't give me a full-time position. And I lived in Wichita where it's super expensive because I didn't have the experience. So then I got a shit ton of experience, and now they're like, okay, cool, full-time immediately. Like,
right.
I think at the interview, I was interviewing it, and I was like, this is full-time, right? And he said, looks like it's part-time. And I was like, it's full-time, I'm going out the door right now. And they're like, okay, it's full-time. Like,
yeah, I ain't getting this part-time shit.
Yeah, well, once you get enough job experience, you can kind of throw your weight around and just say, okay, I'll just go to your competitor if you don't hire me. I mean, you don't do this and this.
Yeah, at the same time, though, you also will run into those people that are like, oh, you're too qualified for this position. At which point I want to be like, dude, I need a job and I'm asking for it. Why do you care?
Yeah.
Take advantage of having somebody that knows what the hell they're doing.
Yeah, and at this rate, I kind of get a feeling at work when I'm making us go in these other directions. I'm improving things. I feel like people know that I should be higher than where I'm at, and
it's just the
like
openings for it.
Yeah, waiting for an opening. I feel bad too when I'm like, I don't want to overstep my position where I'm at and say, hey, listen, we need to do it this, this, and this, and this. And it's like a consistent thing. I always go to my manager and go like, this is what we need to do, and my manager's like, oh, okay. And he never gets angry or anything, but like, it's got to get annoying, right?
I mean, I would think. I mean, I kind of did the same thing before this place and I was at Jolly Fox in the kitchen. And I was like, dude, I have like over a decade's worth of a kitchen experience, and all this stuff you're doing is like, no, like that right there. Oh, you put a box on the floor and store it on the floor. Immediate health code fell.
Yeah.
And stuff. Well, and yeah, there was a few times though they were like, hey, so how do they do it at the other places you've worked? And I was like, this is what they would do, and then in a few days it would end up being done that way. So I mean, they took some advice, but at the same time, there was a reason I left. So
yeah, and granted, before I showed up at the end of the season, I came in midway through summer. The first thing that was talked about at the end of the season, they said we lost a lot of money, like just in grill accessories alone, which is one small part of our department. We missed sales by over $150,000.
Oh Jesus, yeah, that's a nice chunk.
Now imagine how much that would be in every category for the department. It's like, they missed a lot. So then in the off season, I went and I optimized everything, and I said, hey, let's do this, this, and this. And now we tripled the sales plan for this last year. So
right.
Even credit, I'm sure you guys have a credit card there. Before this year, I had never got a credit card. I never tried to get credit cards. If I did, I would just push it off and say, oh, customer service or cashier can get you. I don't know how you feel about credit cards or not. I mean, like your store cards.
I mean, we have the card, like Dylan's Kroger card thing that gives you the discount, but then they do have a like plus one that is actually a kind of credit card thing where and stuff, so you get the discounts plus the credit shit.
Mm-hmm.
I've helped a couple people set it up, but usually I'm busy doing stuff, and it's more of a customer service having the time to set it up for people kind of thing. So I don't usually mess with it, but I've had people ask and be like, oh, yeah. And they're like, digital coupons, because you have to have the card for the digital coupon. And I'm like, yeah, well, this is how you do it. Do you have the card? And they're like, no. And I'm like, all right, well, let me do this. I'll get you set up. You'll have to go to the customer service for them to finalize it and actually give you the card and everything. So I do what I can, but it's rare for me.
So the way ours works is you get some really great benefits for it, but whenever you first sign up for it, if you get like $100 off, up to 20% off, up to $100. So if you spend $500 or more, you save $100. Well, it automatically, whether you get approved or not, if you just apply for it, we'll take that off. And then you get 5% off anytime you use that card. And then they have no interest promos where you can get up to like 3 years no interest. Sometimes one time we did a 6-year promo. So imagine you bought a $2,000 lawnmower. You don't have to pay any interest as long as you get paid off within 6 years. Like that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Right. That's you could imagine how well our sales are when people do that. So up to this point, I really wasn't super comfortable about pushing credit, because I always feel like credit's like a really personal thing for people.
Yeah.
And it's like the interest rate on these are like 30%. Like pretty high interest rate. So before this year, I wasn't really very fond about pushing it, and then I was like, well, I'm going to be a department manager. This store really cares about credit cards. So I got 14 credit cards so far this year. I just got one today. So that's a lot for like a regular department. So I set a goal to do that. But like I was looking at our this year to last year. So last year in our entire department, we did 34 credit cards in a year. This year in our entire department, we've done 98 credit cards in a year.
Nice. So it's like tripled almost.
Yeah. So we tripled. Yeah, I was like, oh. You expect year to year to do more than the previous year, but not triple. Like, I kind of brought that up to my department manager today, and he didn't really like bat an eye at it. He's like, "Oh, okay." And I'm just like, "That's a big deal. We should celebrate that we're tripling our credit cards that we did in the previous year."
Right.
So
That's if they have, especially considering, look at it this way: if the customer's getting the credit card, they're likely a return customer. So, boom, that's more return people coming in. That's coming back.
well, there's that. Another thing is all major, like Visa and everybody, they charge a percent fee every time somebody uses that card. When you use a credit card, like a store credit card, you don't get charged that fee. All that money stays in house. So like Visa's the highest. I think they do like a 4%. And so anytime anyone spends any money, Visa takes 4% of that.
Right.
So without that, and also Lowe's cards tend to have higher rates on it, like higher spending limits. So people spend on average like 3 times more money if they have a credit card. But the issue is because I guess if Dylan's haven't pushed like, hey, we need to do this, this, and this, it's awkward sometimes because you're talking about personal finances and helping people fill out stuff, saying their income and all that. There's some like moral situations where you probably shouldn't, but you're like, oh, well, my boss will say attaboy if you do it. So
right.
Earlier in the year, I actually had this one guy, and he was retired, and he made $12,000 a year. Yeah, he said he got paid $1,000 a month, or he got paid like $750 a month. So not even that. And I got him to sign up for a credit card because he was buying 3 metal folding chairs, and I said he could save some money if he got that. And I was just like, dude, he's like, man, I just want a discount. I'm like, I'll take $20 off if you sign up for a credit card.
Yeah, as long as he's smart with it, then awesome, it saved him money. So
yeah,
if he wasn't smart, then maybe it kind of screwed him. But
oh no, he was not. He was not smart. I practically had to fill out the application for him. That's the thing. I felt bad because he clearly was not all there, and he could barely walk. And I just felt like at that point, I feel like I was taking advantage of an elderly person.
Yeah, I could get that.
But they're predatory about credit cards here. I mean, it is bad here. Like, I never even thought about credit cards at Home Depot. So, but yeah, so that's a struggle. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I enjoy it.
Right.
Today, I think I stole a credit card from a coworker because he was in the middle of we were both helping out on a deal, and then he walked away, and then I asked the customer because I asked him before that, and I was like, hey, have you asked this guy about a credit card yet? He was like, no, I haven't. I was like, okay. And then I went out there, and as soon as like the other guy walked away, I was like, hey, you want to sign up for a credit card? And the guy was like, yeah, absolutely. And then the dude was like, oh, you butthead, you stole my card. Yeah, I was like, number one, you're going to lunch, and I had to go pull a 300-pound grill by myself.
Great. So, well, you had the chance to ask.
Yeah, and you had the chance before I asked you. I asked you, and you didn't ask. Then you walked away, and then the deal was, I think he tried to get a credit card from the guy before he walked away. Then he walked away. Then I came over, and the guy didn't know if he didn't get his wife already had a credit card, right? So he was thinking about applying to get his own credit card, so he gets $100 off. And then I was like, well, tell you what, if you apply for this and you don't get it, I'll give you the $100 either way. We'll go and do that deal. And then he was like, oh, really? Okay. And then he filled it out, and they gave him a $5,000 credit limit. So, so he ended up getting, he upgraded his grill he got to a $900 grill, and then he got a washer and dryer for $2,300. So,
nice.
We had a $3,500 sale out of what was going to be a $400 sale. So
yeah, so hella good sell compared to what it could have been.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's kind of what my shit is on the daily.
Yeah, I don't deal with, like I said, the whole cards thing too much. Excuse me. Most of my day is pretty much filling holes and doing truck and maybe making some cupcakes or cookies or something.
So I never have to do a truck of any kind, thankfully. I've done a lot of that over the years, but I have to maintain the department, make sure things are packed out. We have
Right.
like an inventory replenishment program we have to do. And so you basically have to pack certain things out every day.
Yeah, replenishment list. We have
Well, so
bakery
what we
doesn't really
have
use
is
it. We have a different system for bakery, but it's the same basic idea.
so um so we have pack down not Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And that's just a general like, hey, these are holes, pack this down, right? And you try and find stuff. Then Mondays and Thursdays are IRP days, and that's where we actually take markdowns if we can't find stuff. And it's the same thing as pack down, except you're actually taking markdowns on stuff, which could be
Right.
thousands of dollars worth of stuff, depending because theft is a big deal in retail. I don't know if you guys have very bad theft, but we actually had a funny situation last
Yeah. We've had people just because the person that they have the self checkouts and person isn't watching. People go up there with the carts full of stuff, just stand there, and then when the self checkout person walks away, they just walk off without ever ringing or paying for anything, and just walk out the door.
Well, another thing, what people do is they'll change out the labels on the stuff, so they'll go through self checkout and everything looks fine, but they don't pay attention to the phone to see what the description of the merchandise is, and somebody will buy a flat screen TV for the price of a candle.
Yeah, we have to watch some of our markdown stuff that we do because we've had people go back there and just find the markdown stickers ripped off of it because they took it off and stuck it on something else.
Yeah.
Stuff. Which, I mean, like, dude, if you're that desperate, all right, but come on.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, to an extent, I'm like, I'm sympathetic, but at the same time, a lot of them that do it don't need to do it.
It's so bad here. Last year we actually had somebody climb our overheads, go all the way up to the very top, and then push a generator out of the overhead, obviously breaking it because it's 20 feet in the air, and then pick it up and walk out the door with it.
What?
Yeah, he fucking climbed.
Jesus.
Like, it was literally as I went to break, but if I didn't go to break, I was working in the same spot where he dropped the fucking generator, because he didn't drop it on the aisle where he could see. He dropped it on the other side of the aisle.
Where it could have fucking fell on somebody. Of course.
Yeah, and those things weigh like 300 pounds. That would have killed somebody.
Yeah.
So.
We
have these safety cables that we lock stuff up with. I'm sure if you have anything on the exterior, you guys do that.
Yeah.
So we have some motorcycles in our exit vestibule. So it's still inside. It's just a little windowed area right before you go out the door. Some guy went in and cut the cables with 4 other people and stored four of our motorcycles a couple days ago. They brought gas in with them, just put gas in them and drove them right out.
Ow.
And those are $750 a piece.
That's just some bad anti-theft stuff going there.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're heavy duty. The big yellow cables that are tiered and stuff that are hard to cut.
Yeah.
But I wasn't there, but they said that they brought in some kind of hooked one that they don't sell anymore because you're not supposed to be able to do them. Like, they're supposed to be very hard to cut. You know, like you're trying to squash a watermelon if you got bolt cutters.
Yeah, it's like the multi-wrap, like, steel cable shit or whatever.
Yes. Yeah, and they have smaller ones, which were on those, and then the thicker ones are on the bigger stuff. But usually that's not. So now we're gonna have to start putting scorpion locks on the tires. You know, like they do when they tow people and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's, and then, but last night was funny. So we had we had called the cops because there's this homeless guy that we have him trespass, and he keeps coming back, right? So we called the cops to have him arrested and whatnot, because it's like the 7th time that we've had to say, hey, you need to leave. And a lot of times he'll just go and shit all over the bathroom on purpose, just to say fuck you. So anyway, so we called the cops, and right as the cops were coming in, we had a guy trying to steal a whole basket full of DeWalt shit. And as soon as he was about to run out the door and just steal it, we were all waiting there. We knew he was gonna. The 2 cops just came in the door.
Oh, shit.
This motherfucker turned to us and said, "Hang on, I forgot my wallet. Here, watch my basket for me." And he fucking ran all the way across the parking lot, like sprinted. And 3 other guys. It's like, okay, that was the best timing ever.
Wow.
So,
nice. Yep.
Yeah,
that would have been perfect. Like, yeah. I've seen a few, like, with the way the store is designed at where I'm at, you have like the loading docks, but then there's like a fire exit back door, like right there near my department. And there's been so many times where people and it's right next to like the meat department, so it's in between meat and deli, and I'm next to deli and stuff. And there's this hallway, and he has a door, but we've had people go into meat department, grab like multiple like T-bone steaks and shit, and then just beeline right out that door, setting off the alarm. But by the time you get over there, they're already like over the fence or around the corner into the apartments that are across behind there. So they're already gone.
Yeah, it's super quick access to those apartments and shit.
Yeah. So, like, there's some entertaining ones.
Yeah, there used to be a guy that would always come in and try and steal our bed bug shit. Like, bed bug killer.
Oh, wow.
From Home Depot. I don't know if you ever see him or not that steals stuff, but he's a bald, fat, black guy. But he, if he stole across the street, he might steal from you guys. But what I would do is every time he would come into the store, he ended up recognizing me after a while, and if I was there, he just left. I would stand in the next aisle from him, and I'd say very loudly, "Hey, I think there's a guy trying to steal in the next aisle." I did it like 7 times to him. He always just bolt.
I just always am entertained when it comes to like bakery stuff that's stolen. It's always like the donuts. Like people will just fill a bag full of donuts and then go to steal it. I don't know how many times run in and will bring a bag and be like, "Yeah, somebody tried stealing donuts." I'm just
my god!
You can't even steal a donut?
That doesn't seem like a very smart.
Are you?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like a very smart. Like as far as monetary value goes, like the cost of a donut is probably not that much.
No, it's like a couple dimes maybe. It's like we sell an individual donut that we make is now I think 89 cents, and I think it costs the store maybe 20 cents at most, if even that. I don't even think it's that much. But the problem is when they steal them, they already have grabbed it, got it in the bag. I can't put it back out. So then we do lose.
They might have touched it.
Yeah. Once it leaves the donut case, we can't put it back in there.
Do you guys eat it?
I don't. I just toss it in the trash.
So for a short time, I didn't want to, but I worked produce at Walmart. And anytime there was stuff like that was like near expiring or something that we can't put out on the shelf, we would always just take it to the back and eat it.
Oh, I mean, yeah, we have our. We get each department gets like $500 a week for samples that we can scan out for sampling. So if
like free samples.
Yeah, which we won't really. Our store don't really do like the whole free sample thing for people and stuff. So.
Yeah.
We just kind of... Oh, is Myke on?
Oh, yeah, I think Myke's dropping in.
But, yeah, we will... If we get, like, a damage, something comes in mildly damaged, we'll scan it. Or if it's a new thing, and we were like, oh, that looks good, all right, let's scan one for samples. Try it. Who wants some?
Yeah.
Howdy do.
So we always have like some sort of samples.
Yeah. Hello, Michael. How's it going?
Hello. Oh, it's going. I'm alive.
You on break, or did you just get off work?
Oh, I just got done basically taking a nap.
Oh, nap time. Okay.
Fair enough. So he was on break.
Well, the screen is also, we're recording this podcast screen as well, so if your camera is functional, you're welcome to join us there.
Yeah.
Let's see.
All I have is the webcam, so
I
haven't even tried my webcam.
Reflection of the glasses.
I'm outside.
Nice. It is. The weather is really nice right now, so.
Yeah. Oh,
see if I like this or not.
Hey!
There you go. There you go. Yo, that scared me a little bit because Mike's picture was right where it was that was on, and it turned on, and I was like, "Wow, Myke, you got really pale."
Right.
Oh man. So, well, great little cruise here. But no, we were just talking about retail theft, and I was actually about to kind of tell about the story about the chia seeds, if you remember that, Myke.
Yeah. I still have the video clips.
Yeah. I have a picture. So basically, we were in the back, and there's some stuff that was near expiring. Have you ever seen those? It's the healthy drink section.
The Mama Chia. They're called Mama Chia seeds.
The Mama Chia drinks. You guys know those. So we were in the back, and my manager was just like, "Hey, we're gonna pour these out. You want it?" I was like, "You know what? Why not? I'll drink it." I was the only one drinking it, and I drank it, and my gum, like, I started hurting really bad. My mouth was swelling up, and like I remember like the nerves in my gums were fucking up. And so I ended up going to a doctor for it, like, pretty quickly, and they thought it was a dental issue at first, like you have any infections or anything? I'm like, nah, I'm good. Turns out they thought I was having an allergic reaction to something in there, so it was that's what it was.
It was too healthy.
Yeah, I'm assuming I'm allergic to chia seeds because that's the only time I've ever had those. And I remember my department manager as well. I told him about it, and he was like, "Just don't tell anyone you did that, because you technically were not supposed to do that, and you also could get workman's comp for that." Oh, so you could get in trouble for letting me do that?
He basically looked like a monkey for about 24 hours.
Yeah. But
it's like those pictures of the dogs that like tried to eat a bee or whatever and get stung.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So, but anyways, man. But yeah, so that's what that is. I haven't had any kind of allergic reaction since then.
Once I get those clips back, I'm gonna definitely be sharing them on the channel so that those listening to the podcast know what we're talking about. Because he had an interesting evening that day.
Yeah. If you can get them to me by Monday, I can put them on the podcast when I edit it.
I don't know if it'll be by Monday, but I'll have to find them. I know I have them somewhere, but
yeah.
If not, we'll do a callback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I don't know of a single thing I'm allergic to. So,
dude,
there was one time, so you know how I go to my mom's house sometimes, Krieger, and she'll be like, "Oh, here, take some leftover food or something like that, extra food or whatever," and I'm like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." So she gave me like these like no bake, like crumble cookie cakes things that take like 5 minutes to cook in the oven. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll take a couple of those. So I cooked.
Well, it's obviously not a no bake if you have to cook it in the oven, because then it's a bake.
It's whatever it is. But I took it and I cooked it in the oven, and then I started eating it. Well, next thing I know, I started getting a tingling sensation in my like gums and my lips, and then it went into my mouth. I was just like, what the fuck's going on? What the fuck's going on? And like, I was like calling mom, and I was like, what the hell is in this stuff? And she's like, I don't know, take an allergy pill. Took an allergy pill, and the sensation was gone within like 10 minutes. So there's some kind of ingredient in that specific brand that caused me to have an allergic reaction.
Yeah.
The worst part is that was when I was living with Fatty Ogre, and he was working overnights at the hospital, and I was home alone that night. So I would have been fucked.
Yeah. I mean, in fairness, I tried not meaning to kill myself yesterday because I was cleaning my floor, and the dog keeps freaking pissing on the floor. So I wasn't thinking about chemical reactions. I was thinking, oh, I'll put some bleach on the floor and shit.
Did you make mustard gas?
Put it this way, I was coughing, my eyes were burning, and I had to open some windows for a little bit.
Oh my god! I had a customer that was disabled, and he came in and he did that.
Bleach with the ammonia from animal urine doesn't mix.
So this guy mixed like bleach with muriatic acid.
Oh my god!
Jesus Christ, God no!
Right over his face, and he inhaled it, and he had like 15% lung capacity after that.
Oh Jesus Christ!
And dementia.
And dementia.
Let me tell you though, that was a good 3 hours helping him. He got $20 worth of stuff.
So the other day, my girlfriend and I were talking about so we're kind of bringing up old stories and whatnot. We were talking about whenever we each got COVID and everything, because we had another COVID scare here about like a month ago and everything. Only one person in the house got it, but she may have developed asthma from it. Not my girlfriend, the person who got it. And I was kind of calling back and reminding myself, like, I remember the time when I got Joker, and Krieger got COVID.
Yeah, when you're supposed to go on the float trip.
That still pisses me off.
You know what? If we didn't go out to the bar, we probably could have went to a float trip, because I'm 90% sure we got it from the bar.
I mean, during that period, you know how many times I was there and I would hear some idiot college kid, yeah, I just tested positive for COVID, man. And I'm just I'm glad you're on the opposite side of the fucking building and we're outside right now, because
do you remember there being COVID parties? Like there was legit COVID parties in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, people were fucking idiots.
Like
it was mostly like the frats and
but people would test positive for COVID, and they would say, "Oh, let's all go have a party and let everyone catch COVID." It's like, why? Is that your way of skipping class?
Well, you know, I got 2 weeks paid off from work whenever that happened. So
2 weeks paid off and dead on your bed.
I mean,
that was awful.
Still, to my knowledge, yet to ever get it. So, keyword to my knowledge.
You might have, and it was probably. Did you ever get vaccinated or anything?
Oh yeah, I have the vaccination. I don't have the booster, but I have the vaccination.
Yeah. So as soon as I got it,
vaccinated before all of us.
Yeah, like me, and stuff like I get sinus infections all the freaking time. So if anything, I had it, and that was my symptom right there, and I was just like, this is normal.
Well,
whatever. Feel fine. Sinus infection.
Do you remember? Whenever we worked at Jolly Fox, and it was like a month or two before it actually hit Pittsburgh, and then me and Ashley got really sick for like 2 weeks, but we still came to work. Like we kept thinking about like, oh, we could have been COVID, and we never even knew about it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And it could very well be just something like that.
Where it's just sinus infection or symptoms and stuff. But like I said, I get those around this time of the year all the freaking time. So I'm dealing with sinuses right now and have been for like a month and a half.
Whereas
Usually if
Krieger caught it, and he was acting like he was on his deathbed.
Yo, I remember getting out of. I was like, "Hey, I've been sitting here." Oh, actually, I remember Myke made me some fucking tomato soup with milk in it, motherfucker.
Yeah,
And I couldn't take it back
and
to the kitchen.
and then you left it in the room because you couldn't get out of bed physically, and so your dog took care of it for you.
Appreciate it, Bugs. Shout
No
out to the
wonder he's a
real
chubby bastard.
Shout
Yeah.
out to Bugs for saving his life right there.
So I remember, like, man, I feel like shit. My lungs burning. I'm at least gonna try to go. I decided I'd go take a bath because you can't take a shower because I can't stand up. So I got out of bed. I crawled out of bed, crawled to the bathroom.
I wish I would have seen this.
I was in. That's okay.
I
But
shouldn't
anyways,
be laughing at this because this is actually like legit, like illness that could actually kill people and everything, and people have died
I
from
mean,
it.
it has.
Yeah.
It has
I
killed
shouldn't laugh at
tons of
this, but,
people.
like,
if I
always
wasn't
laugh
an
at-
incredibly healthy person, I'd be fucked.
I always laugh
Right.
at Krieger's inconvenience. That's why I'm laughing, viewers. I'm not making fun of COVID. I just like to laugh at Krieger and his inconvenience a lot.
He crawls on the floor when he gets COVID. He cuts his penis when he sleeps with women.
There it is.
It's just boom.
Bro, I remember struggling just to like get like after the shower, I mean the bath, and I crawled over the side of the bath, going like, okay, I got to get some clothes on, and I was struggling to get underwear. And I was like, son of a bitch.
I found the clips of like the three of us trying to watch UFC, and you were complaining about how the pizza tasted like gray matter and everything, and then like someone had turned the lamp on, and you walked over both hands blocking it, and you like unscrewed the light bulb with your hand, and you're like, too bright, fuck you,
At least I can feel this.
feel this motherfucker.
But anyways, oh, I think we're getting some audio from your TV license.
Possibly. I don't know. I gotta figure out where my controller is. If this
Hey,
sounds like Mark Briscoe talking, then yeah.
We're getting copyright strikes from Mark Briscoe, everybody.
Oh boy. Man.
Speaking of copyright, Myke, on that last video, I'll have you know that I have the entire scene from Ghost Ship in the video with no copyright.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, there's certain clips you can kind of get away with it. I just haven't found them all yet. It's the
Well, it's the way I
copyright
used it.
rules and the copyright
Plus, that
laws,
clip
like,
is probably you give credit to it if you're referring to it. So
yeah,
Yeah,
and
like,
everything. Plus,
whenever-
it's one of the
whenever
more
I try to do
popular
it-
clips, so they're probably just like, you know what, people are going to use it anyway. Screw it.
I mean, like,
Yeah, and
whenever I
certain
try to use
companies
clips
are
and
good.
everything. I try to put credit to where it's due and everything, but like I still don't know how to get around certain things. Like when it's harder to do newer movie reviews because of that, because of how new the footage is. So the copyright laws are a lot stricter when it comes to that. But the older stuff,
Yeah,
is a hell of a lot.
considering
Yeah.
that Ghost Ship is like 20 years old, it's only good that they get more publicity for it. Because really, how many people talk about Ghost
Yeah,
Ship?
we were talking
Not
about it
that many.
earlier, and I asked how when it came out. It was technically, I think he said 2002.
02.
I think is what he said. Yeah,
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
yeah.
because he was
so,
like, "Oh yeah, I was 7," and he asked how
Yeah.
old I was, and I was like,
And that's a movie that a lot of people say that like if it would have came out in the 90s, it would have been like a grade A movie and everything. Like it was a movie out of its
still
time.
is.
Yeah.
consider
Still is
it
one
a
of my
cult-
favorites.
Oh
I
yeah.
consider it a cult classic.
Yeah,
It
Oh.
is turned into a cult classic pretty much and everything. Just not a lot of
it's
people
like
really
it,
talk about it.
13th Ghost.
I
Top
remember
tiers.
going to the Blockbuster and get it on.
I
Or
remember-
one of them old school little box things with the tapes in it.
I think
Actually, so the one that I had, my VHS, it didn't have a top to it, so I could actually see all the tape moving inside of it. And
Oh,
I thought it was
Jesus.
so cool.
So that was probably right
remember-
near the end of VHS, though, man, because like
I remember
DVDs were
the
out
year-
then.
I remember
Yeah,
the first time that we watched it on October Horror Fest, and I had like little to no knowledge of it. And like,
really.
you remember that year when we watched it for the very first time with like a group of like 10 people, and it was like the #1 film rating wise up until like the last week of October.
I don't remember that, but I bet you, because that was one of
It
my
was
favorites.
it was #1 all the way to the very last weekend, because the last weekend had like the Babadook and Silence of the Lambs and everything. So that's what knocked it out of the #1 spot. But it was in the top 5 that year.
I don't
I
really
would
like
still put it.
Babadook.
I would still put it above both of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would too. I think
This
I
was a
remember
long time
hating
ago.
Babadook.
I don't remember liking it. I know that.
Babadook
Well,
is
because
like it's like it has like more meaning inside of it than just it being a scary movie or something like that. I think it's like
yes,
Right.
it's got a lot of symbolism and representation of internal struggles. So
like
I could see
physical
how.
abuse or something like that.
Well, the whole thing is the monster was based on the mom's insecurities and not letting go.
And then dealing with like past like abuse or something shit like that, I think, as well.
Yeah.
Like being
Yeah,
abused
so
by,
she
like,
had
that
to
husband.
she had to stand up to her own grief,
Mhm.
which
Yeah, it was pretty much her own demons fighting her own demons, kind of thing.
which is cool, but like
I didn't like it.
I feel like it got interpreted a little wrong.
There's been other movies that's done basically the same thing in better ways.
Yes,
Yeah.
because I felt like the monster was very cool, and you just want to see it kill people. And it's like, oh no, it's her grief.
It's like Freddy Krueger on crack.
It's like, what is this, a fucking Disney movie? Like, what's the hell? It's like, what the hell's going on here?
Speaking of Disney, have you heard the fucking rumors with Marvel and everything?
Mm-mm.
How
Haven't
they're
kept up
thinking
with
about how they're saying that Phase 4 is like failing miserably and everything, so they're thinking about switching.
Soft reboot.
They're doing, which I feel like they just need to. The #1 problem is that they've got to the point to where they're releasing too much content now every year, to where like people can't keep up with it and they're not going to care anymore, because that's like an over. There can be such a thing as like an overload of like content.
Well, they've had a lot of social justice warrior bullshit though too, that a lot of people hate.
And I was also going to say that with the whole thing with Kang the Conqueror, the actor for that.
She-Hulk.
Oh yeah, She-Hulk, yeah. They're trying to shift the main villain lead to Doctor Doom now, wanting to resurrect Black Widow and Iron Man and bring back the OG Avengers and everything. And I'm just like, just take a break for like a year. Do what Ubisoft did with Assassin's Creed, and don't make anything for like a year.
Right.
Just take a break, because you're about to go down Ubisoft territory with this shit.
Yeah, I mean, they've made a bunch of mistakes, I feel like.
Yeah.
It just has not been. They just released a new Captain Marvel movie, and that's her last that Brie Larson's last movie doing that.
I mean, so yeah,
I haven't even
what they need to
watched
do is
any of them.
they need to do what I mean, like, the content for their movies isn't like 5-star A+ graded, but they need to do what Sony's doing right now with their Spider-Verse, like just slowly introduce a character like one by one, and then kind of go from there, like how they did in the very beginning.
There's a Spider-Verse?
A Sonyverse, yeah, there is. They've got the 2 Venom movies. Morbius is part of it.
Yeah.
There was supposed to be a Kraven the Hunter movie coming out this year, but it got pushed back because of the writer's strike. That's supposed to be a part of it.
Wasn't there ever supposed to be like a? I don't remember which comic book thing this guy's on, but wasn't there supposed to be like a Gambit movie?
Yeah, a very long time ago. And that was something that Channing Tatum was trying to like helm and push forward, but after Fox lost the rights, Disney just kind of said, "Fuck you, we're not doing
Screw
this."
it. Yeah. Of course,
Channing
Disney.
Tatum also is a controversial actor choice because he's got a stigma behind him.
Yeah.
Anymore, yeah.
A stigma, and he's kind of like the kind of character that gets stuck in certain roles, like with The Rock nowadays, or Marky Mark.
Yeah,
like they get stuck playing certain
typecasted.
characters. Mm-hmm.
Basically playing the same thing in every movie.
Yeah.
Like Vin Diesel, it's always about the family.
Always about the family.
Well, except when he debuts in Arc 2.
Yeah. Well, that'll be about the dinosaur family.
That's true.
Nope.
Sorry, I'm trying to fix my chair. I just spent $200 on this chair, and it's starting to lean this side. And I'm trying to find an
Have you guys heard about the updates on Bruce Willis?
Yes, he is inaudible now,
No.
from what I heard.
Well, like,
Oh shit! Really?
He's still Bruce Willis. It's just like he can't really talk anymore because of like the illnesses he has and everything.
Yeah.
Which honestly sucks.
Well, it's
because,
like
I really enjoy.
What all is it? It's like Parkinson's, isn't it, and something else?
Yeah, it's essentially like advanced dementia. I mean, it's
dementia and stuff like that.
Yeah, because you could tell. Actually, on my list, probably a month ago, I actually watched his last movie he did, and like in every line, he seemed like he didn't seem coherent. He was yelling everything, and the acting was really bad. It's like, man, is this guy retarded? But you know, his cognitive. that was his last. That was his last movie that he did.
Well, here's the other thing: is like he was his last movie he did was supposed to get a Golden Razzie Award, but the Golden Razzies removed that movie from their list because they didn't want to like put his movie there because of the cause of it was because of something he couldn't help. So
in this movie, I don't remember the name of it, but it was so bad. Like Tito Ortiz was the main villain.
You say Tito Ortiz, and I immediately just want to shit my pants.
It was such a bad movie because he played a cop, but he was a dirty cop. And he was just trying to kill He was trying to kill a woman the whole
just
whole
have
thing.
Movies with nothing but MMA people. Get some like Tito Ortiz, Tank Abbott, some Ronda Rousey in there.
Fucking Michael Bisping movie where he's like running that woman fighter ring, woman abuser, or something like that.
Yeah, he's just beating up women. That's literally a line at one point. They're like, "Why are you so mean?" He's like, "Cause I like hitting women."
What the fuck?
It's like, you know, that was his idea.
Of course. I mean, he can't see straight half the time anyway, so probably.
Yeah, he's so many eye injuries. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. For me, like, I've had a really kind of a tough time to sit down and actually watch a movie that's actually new that came out. The newest movie that I actually sat down and watched was the Five Nights at Freddy's movie because it was streaming on Peacock like the day of, and
I have it. I haven't watched it yet.
My girlfriend and I had like nothing to do, so that we just decided to watch it.
See, I did watch Hunting in Venice or whatever last night. I think it was.
How was that?
It was all right. I mean, it's based off Agatha Christie or however the hell you say it, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't anything super spectacular, but it wasn't bad by any means.
So I started The Walking Dead from the beginning again.
Yeah.
Well, I did that and Grey's Anatomy, but Walking Dead's the thing I want to talk about. It's very emotional. It's one of those where like I'm like, oh man. But I cry like every other episode. Not gonna lie,
I actually remember the other day, like Grey's Anatomy got brought up in conversation, and somebody asked me like, "Is that still running?" And I'm like, "Yes, it's still running somehow. It's got like 40 goddamn seasons."
Yeah, that's why.
That's the like sitcom version of like Inuyasha.
Well, I remember this because I watched the first like 13 seasons. I fell out of it, and that's why I'm going back and start from the beginning again. Because I was like, I'm going to do that with Walking Dead. I might as well do it with this one too.
Yeah.
In the beginning, there was a lot of action, a lot of really good stories, and like medical things. And then I remember at one point, it's like they didn't even care about that. And it's all relationship stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like ER back in the day basically went the same way.
Yeah,
like it was all this medical, and then it became like the George Clooney show.
ER was a little bit more entertaining, but like when it came to doctor shows for me,
Scrubs.
Scrubs or House. I was gonna say House or Scrubs for me.
I need to actually go through. I've never watched all of House. I've seen
You seem
episodes.
like a Hugh Laurie like fanboy, like you would be all about it.
I mean,
Me?
I like it,
No,
but I
listen.
mean, I've never actually just sat and watched it.
Well,
I've seen most
House's-
episodes, but not in order.
House's personality reflects yours.
Yes, I was gonna say like
Yeah.
you would get a lot of his jokes like instantaneously.
Like if I think of a person that I know that's most like House, I think your name's top of the list.
Are you calling him an asshole?
Well,
I'm pretty sure he's the asshole. I'm
But
just don't give a shit and no fucks given, basically.
but anyways, so I start from the beginning of that. First of all, how much of The Walking Dead have you guys watched?
I've seen all of it up until they killed Glenn, and then I haven't watched any after that.
Very
Okay.
little we watched on 11th Street, which was like season 3, I think. I saw Glenn's death, and then I saw the episode where crap, I forget the character's name. It's the kid with the cowboy hat and the eye patch.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
Carl.
Yeah,
Carl.
I saw the episode where
That could be a
where he
nice
died.
match.
Yeah, I saw the episode where he died, and that's about it.
So
AEW just kind of teased a Samoa Joe versus Keith Lee.
That'd be good.
that'd be a brawling.
That could be
match.
nice.
Brawling
It could be
match, you
nice.
say?
So here's my thought. Number one, Shane was the best thing about the fucking show in the early early
John
seasons.
Burful. Of course it is.
He was so good. Every
He's-
moment I was like, please don't let him die. Please don't let him die. I know he's gonna
Utter
die. And
utter POS, but in the series, but he was entertaining.
He was the second biggest piece of shit on the entire cast, followed by Lori. She's the worst human being alive.
Yeah,
Bro,
well,
listen.
just look
My-
at the flowers.
Just for a breakdown, her husband is a cop, and his best friend's his partner, and she thinks he dies, so she sleeps with said husband, and then husband is not dead, or partner's husband,
Yeah,
and then things happen, and that guy goes crazy, and you tell your husband, hey, you're gonna have to do something about this guy because he's crazy. So then your husband goes and kills that guy in self-defense only, and then you say, why'd you kill that guy?
she was manipulative as fucking hell.
It's like, why did you do the thing I wanted? It's like you wanted it, but
My thing is like that the reason why like he's so good on the show is because like I mean he's Punisher, one patch, two patch, penny and dime. Like he made that character.
there was a whole angle on the show where Herschel was an old man, and he believed that the walkers could be brought back, and they're just people too. So he was keeping them in the barn.
Yeah,
and
that was that whole thing.
And that shit was so good whenever because you're like, oh man, like Rick is trying to help, and then Shane's just like, nah, we gotta kill these things, and like they're people too, and he's like, oh yeah, and he just kept shooting them. It's like, why'd she keep coming? Why'd she keep coming?
Oh my god!
Which I mean is like good point, but
like he just broke that old. You could see the old guy who just he was just defeated.
Yeah.
And he was, and it's just
Herschel was a good character.
So, now a character I just finished with the governor part, right? I didn't like the governor the second playthrough.
Yeah, I think I remember you saying like you liked the character the first time because I remember like that was part of the seasons that we were watching at 11th Street all those years ago, and I was just kind of like, I can't really get into it or whatever. But like, I mean, why don't you like him now?
Logically speaking, it doesn't make sense what he would. The whole thing was he did what was necessary to survive.
Yeah.
And he was in charge of a town, but they were doing shady shit. So then, he was like, a group of good people are around, and he's just like, well, I'm gonna have to kill you. You know, it's like, why? And he's like, oh, you know, and he just make up reasons. He was really charismatic, so he could convince people to do it. So they try to attack the prison. The attack fails, right? And then, in response to his attack failing, he kills all of his people. And then he goes and he says, I'm going to be a good person now. And he meets a nice lady. She meets the actress who plays Diggle's wife from Arrow. And they fall in love. And then, but just like with his old daughter, I mean, he said, well, we have to go take over this prison. And then the prison people are like, wait, we can just share, you know?
He's like, no.
Build better tomorrow. And he's like, liar! Cuts the old guy's head off. Why?
Yeah.
It was so unnecessary.
I don't know. Like, I mean, for me, it just feels like a show that's really hard to get into, like, and everything. Like, I know I'd have to start watching from the very beginning and everything, but it's just, I've been introduced to the show so many times, like, halfway deep into a fucking story that I'm just kind of like, I can't get into it, because, like, it's just like, what the fuck's going on? Why is nothing happening?
For me, early A Walking Dead was peak television. Like, that was very good.
Those first couple seasons were really good. Yeah.
Yeah. Dale was a character that I felt like I wish he didn't die. Remember the old guy is Dale, that he was the voice of reason and like the moral compass for a lot of people. Yeah. And I felt like the group kind of lost their humanity after that was over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now the show is mainly all about Maggie.
Well, it's branched off now. There's
they have so many sides. Yeah.
And Negan.
Negan's a good guy now, you know, and he's trying to pay pittance for all that stuff. Apparently later in the series, I've seen some of the emotional things. Like I didn't see Carl die, but I saw the radio call on TikTok where he is calling. Rick tells Negan that Carl's dead, and Negan seems to have a relationship with him where he, you know, it was real emotional.
Negan was kind of like trying to morph or mold Carl into like someone under his wing and everything and whatnot, but he also kind of like.
I'm just interested to see what happens to Negan to the point where he goes from being this
complete fucking asshole to like
being a
Happy Winchester.
I gotta say, I want to say it's either something that Rick did or something Maggie did, because like now him and Maggie are like buddy.
I know at one point, because I saw this on TikTok too, Rick and Negan came together after Carl died, and basically Rick was like, "It's Carl wanted peace, you know, but it's too fucking late for that," and then he cuts Negan's throat. Like, I seen that and I was like, oh fuck! Like the clip of that, and I'm like, I don't think I would have done that. I would have been like, hey, listen, like you obviously have a connection. We could be better than this. Let's just stop doing this fucked up shit. But again, I guess you could have some symbolism with the governor there, because the governor, Rick asked to be in peace, and then he said fuck you, and this time he didn't wait for the other guy to say fuck you. He fucked him.
Yeah.
No homo.
He fucked him, no homo.
Beepity bleepity beep. But anyways, sorry to get on a rant about The Walking Dead, but those are the two shows I've been watching recently.
That's fine. Like it's anything to get on the podcast, I guess, since I missed a little bit in the beginning.
Yeah, we're a little bit over an hour in now.
Did you guys see the teaser trailer for the new Planet of the Apes movie?
I saw it. I didn't watch it.
It looks really good. Like,
I haven't seen the Planet of the Apes universe, so like I know that's on our slate to cover, so I can't wait to do that.
The older
I think I'm behind like a movie or two.
Yeah, the older ones I feel like are going to be a little difficult to get through, but these new ones I can like. These new ones I can vouch for like 110%. Like they're long movies. They're about 2.5 hours long. That's probably the only drawback for the movie, because like, you know, some people don't like 2.5 hour movies.
I like long movies.
But like I feel like that it's perfect because like it needs 2.5 hours to like explain the whole story per movie and everything. So
I like world building, and
yeah,
where movies can have a chance to take their time, like The Irishman. I think Chris, you've seen that, right?
Irishman.
The 4 hour, the 4 hour movie.
It's a long
Anyways,
one.
so they take their time in world building. I don't like when things are rushed and you've got to do things in a certain amount of time.
Oh, so basically the first version of Justice League.
Yeah. So, and I still never watched any of the Justice Leagues.
Hello.
Or
I
any of the
haven't either.
Supermans, or the only
I
thing I
hate
ever watched was
Superman.
Batman versus Superman. I do hate. Funny enough, when I was a kid, my parents
He's
got me
not
a
a man.
Superman.
He's an alien.
Gave me a Superman action figure, and I threw him out the window.
He's not very super either. Everybody else from his planet can have basically the same powers thanks to our sun. So it doesn't seem super to me, Mr.
Sorry, guys,
Alien.
I saw a sleeping puppy. Hello.
But
I'm gonna be multitasking real quick.
okay.
Yeah.
But anyways, so yeah, I don't know,
You were saying what were you saying about Superman and whatnot?
Oh, I threw him out the window as a kid.
He didn't
Out
even
of
need
context.
kryptonite.
I opened it.
Throwing Superman out the window as a kid.
No kryptonite. It only would have been better if he was bald at the time.
Bro, whenever you said out of context, I just thought about a funny out of context. So you guys know it's November, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what's a funny connotation that people usually have with one of two things of November?
Well, you have no nut.
No
yeah,
nut
you've got no
November,
nut and no
shape
shape November.
Yes.
So you guys have watched The Boys, right?
Oh yeah, I've actually
yeah.
started watching Gen V, the little like side
I
series
saw a
of
clip
it.
from that.
So
So
I've seen the first 2 episodes, so I'm ready for episode 3.
So you've seen the scene where Soldier Boy calls him and he says, "I came into a cup." So somebody put that out of context, and it's like day one of no November, no context, calling your bro. I came in a cup. And just the way Jensen Ackles says that, it's just so funny.
It's Jensen Ackles for you.
Yeah, he's great in that role. I love that show.
You know, he pulled some of the like assholeness he got from Supernatural for that stuff.
Well, yeah, and
Oh,
you know the scene where he wakes up and he's eating all those burgers and stuff. You know, he's just like, "Hey, listen, I need to do a Supernatural callback. I need to be." They were like, "Yeah, that's Dean there," because he was being super sarcastic. He was just scarfing shit down.
Just missing the pies. It should have been pies.
Yeah. God, Groundhog Day. Man, Supernatural. Supernatural is so good, but that's another one. That's one I could not restart. I think.
I've
There's like
rewatched.
17.
It was before it ended. I think it was like 2 seasons before it ended. I restarted and went like binge through all of it again.
Because for a long time, a lot of people have argued that they think that it should have ended with the original ending. Whenever their was it season 4?
When they like
6.
have the brother or whatever come in.
Yeah.
They had the brother. There was
come
like
in.
3 or 4 different times they were thinking of ending it, and then it kept going.
There's a bunch. Even the one whenever the God's sister came in and saved everybody.
Yeah.
Towards the end of it, it's just like
I don't know. I do still have a nice like soft spot for the first season because that one definitely had the more creepy-ish vibes of any of it.
Well, there's a lot of different highs to it. I felt like it was pretty consistent throughout, or even whenever they first introduced angels.
Yeah, there was a lot of it. It's just the creepier factor of the first season I really enjoyed.
See, I rewatched that. There's been a couple relationships I've been in, and like, hey, let's watch Supernatural. We start watching. I'm like, I promise the graphics and camera quality will get better because it was early 2000s.
Oh, I mean, it was
terrible,
low quality, but still.
But then once you get into good stuff, Yeah, it's good shit. Myke, I know you haven't watched as much Supernatural. I think you
I
kind of
mean,
just listened in when I was watching. I remember Taylor got into it.
I've seen a couple of episodes here and there. I've seen the ghost car. I've seen the episode where he's scared of cats. I've seen a lot of Castiel.
Are you aware that they had a Scooby-Doo crossover?
I watched that episode and it was great.
Yeah.
It was
They had a
Trying to
Groundhog
hook
Day.
up with fucking Gaffney and shit like that.
Yeah, the Groundhog Day episode was pretty good.
Yeah.
That's another
the
show.
Groundhog. Is that the one where I think it's Dean keeps dying?
Yeah, they're stuck in a time loop. Yep.
Yeah, and it's just I think that's when the first time they meet the
There was,
trickster or whatever.
Yeah, Gabriel.
Yeah.
There
Who
was
ends
a
up being
clip
Gabriel, yeah.
that,
Because I just
there was a
remember
clip
that, a doggy!
Because that time they introduced him, you didn't know what the fuck he was the whole time. They're trying to
Yeah,
figure
it was
it
like
out.
they were making him out to be Loki, and I think even for a while they were calling him Loki.
Yeah, they thought he was Loki, and then after a while, he's like, "I'm an archangel, bros."
Yeah. It's like,
there was a clip that I saw on TikTok. I don't remember the context of the episode or anything, but like, it's, Dean's talking to Sam about something. Like they're preparing to do like the climax of the episode, and like Dean says something, and then he runs and he jumps over the railing of like this front porch, and like somebody from behind the scenes was like, yeah, like they had to do this part here because like Dean was gone for the rest of the episode after he jumped over the fence because he had to leave after he recorded that part because his wife was like in labor or something, or girlfriend was in labor for like kids or something like that. So
right.
they were kind of making jokes about how like, yeah, like he just like said his line, boop, over the fence, gone, never seen again.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, it was solid. I mean, if I had infinite amount of time, I'd rewatch that. 24 is one I'd love to rewatch. I think I'm finally burnt out on. I think I'm finally. 24 is really good.
I'm waiting for it. Another show that he's like, I love to watch this show again.
Actually, I was about to say, I think I'm finally burnt out on Lost, and I have no further need to watch it in the future.
Wow.
I've watched it like 13 times now.
Oh, damn.
All the way through. Because relationships, both my siblings, friends, trying to do. The only time I'd ever do it again is if MykeCheck'd Productions was ever to do an in-depth episode by episode review of Lost.
We already got to cover Dexter and all that stuff, and we got to finish the House of Fall of Usher.
I think currently our slate is full, and we shouldn't add anything new unless it's like a popular thing.
Oh my god, yes, we got way too much going on.
You won't get tired of Dexter.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would not suggest Lost or like Breaking Bad or any big new thing like that until we finish Dexter.
Or Grey's Anatomy, because Grey's Anatomy is not done yet.
We are not going to be doing Grey's Anatomy. I cry every other episode. I am not crying and doing a review and saying, "Oh, that's so emotional."
I'm not crying again. I'm not crying again. Watches Hill House.
Honestly, I'm kind of using it as therapy because when I first watched Grey's Anatomy is whenever I was like emotionless, and now I can watch this and feel emotions, and I'm like, wow, I've really came a long way, because you know, most of the time it was only the really big shit where you'd be like, oh yeah, I'm crying for sure, but now it's just like small things, and I'm like,
well, I would love to stay and chit chat a little bit longer, but I probably have to hop off of here. I think you guys, I think you guys got the reins on this podcast.
Roman Reigns.
Yeah. Next time I have more time and get on here. Hopefully it's like maybe like tomorrow or something. We can probably all get up on here and actually get some wrestling talking, because there's quite a bit of wrestling I want to talk about. I'm just like, what the fuck's
I was gonna like wrestling wise, you have the idea of TNA coming back basically, and all that.
Oh yeah.
Or actually, did you guys see John Cena's promo last night?
Yeah,
on Sokoa.
Yeah.
He called him a discount Taz.
Discount ballroom Taz.
Yeah. Or basement Taz.
Yeah, discount basement Taz. Yeah.
And it was so good because he was like, John Cena like lost his voice kind of, and he said, "I got a half a voice, and I'm gonna cook you in 30 seconds." Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah. But
It's like all of John Cena's promo. Okay, I
I'll
got
hop
you.
off of here. I'll let you guys finish up and everything. I'll try to make sure to hop on the next podcast, or like maybe we'll hop back up on here and just do a complete wrestling chat.
Yeah, it's been 2 weeks.
Alright.
It's been 2 weeks since we did a podcast, so I figured we'd just try and knock that out.
Yeah, I mean, if we want to record another one like the next couple days, that way we have one ready to go. Like, we can just do that. That way
I'm off at 5 tomorrow. If you guys are available, I don't mind doing another session. I'm gonna schedule this one to upload on Monday.
Okay.
Say I'll be off
that way
again at 6. So
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to.
And
I'll have to let you know. And how
I
I'm
just
feeling.
know
Tomorrow's my long day.
Tuesday I won't be available because I will be at Lawrence
Thursday?
at a concert. Well, yeah, and Thursdays, but yeah.
But
I work 9 to 6 all week, so I'm available any afternoon, basically, boys.
Yeah, pretty much anytime after 6 on most days, but yeah.
So it's just all up to you, Mike.
do what?
I said it's just all up to you. And Tuesday we're starting at 7:30 in the morning and recording all day. Is that what you said?
So I say
Probably.
I'm busy Tuesday, so like I said, I'm going to Lawrence and
Oh, yeah,
watching
the
Murder
concert.
Dolls.
See, that's the
Oh,
concert.
So that would be all you guys.
That's a concert you've been trying to get somebody to get a ticket to go with you because you have an extra ticket and everything, right?
Yeah, Kat's gonna go with me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I mean, like, I thought about like asking, but like at the same time, I'm just like, I live all the way in Bartlesville. I'm a parent now. That's gonna be kind of like pulling strings and pulling a hat out of my ass to get up there.
That's where you both
To
have
get
to come
here
up
and
to
then
Wichita.
having to drive 2 hours or so to Lawrence past here, so
That's
Yeah.
where you
yeah,
guys just
that'd
both
be
come
a
up to
hell of a lot of
Wichita,
street for you.
and then
I mean,
it's only
it's-
2 blocks away from my place.
It's bad enough that like I've got Lyson here pretty much begging me on Halloween to come back on a karaoke night so that we can sing about cookies and we're sticking it up asses and stuff.
What we did it for.
Mike, listen, from your location, it is only 2 hours and 23-minute drive here.
That is a long drive.
You know
I'm
what?
just-
I did longer than that to get pussy one time.
Was it a fuzzy kitty? Was it soft?
No, it was soft, smooth.
All right, I'm gonna hop off here. You guys can keep going, and I'll jump on the next podcast.
Okay.
So,
Actually, it's about the same distance, 2 hours and 34 minutes.
Krieger and Lyson will
Yeah,
continue on.
we were
this
only shooting for at
conversation.
least 2 hours, so we don't have
Yeah.
much more if we
Yeah,
if
we're
we want to
sitting
keep
at
going.
and we're sitting at an hour and 22 minutes, so we'll
Oh.
cut it off at 2 hours, so you're not missing too much, Mike.
Okay, well, I'll let Krieger and Lyson take the reins from here, and they can finish up whatever they are gonna talk about. Probably talk shit on me while I'm gone. But this is MykeCheck'd 95 jumping out of this podcast, and I will be back hopefully sooner rather than later. Because it's like pulling teeth trying to get me to come back. What?
Yeah, you're about out of teeth, Mike.
Yeah, I know. But peace.
Well, it was nice that he at least joined in there.
Yeah, he got in for a little bit at least.
Yeah. I think most of my frustration has not been that he's not showing up. It's more that he's not responding when I'm asking if he's available.
I mean, probably a good chance he's asleep half the time.
Yeah, or he's working, or he's dealing with his kid.
So I mean, yeah.
It's just an adjustment. Not only I have to adjust to his new schedule because I'm used to us
Just
knocking
pretty much
shit out
whenever.
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Like
ideally,
whenever, like, oh, hey,
perfectly-
let's do it. All right, sweet, let's do it. Kind of thing, but
Yeah. Because we're at 600 subscribers now. Like, we need to keep 1,000. Our watch time. We got to get our watch time up.
yeah.
You know? And if all three of us put out a video a week, or,
Yeah, I
on
need
average.
to get my software all downloaded again, and maybe I can start back up.
Man,
Oh,
I wish
shit.
so whenever I got this headset, they actually gave me not my headset, my PVR. They gave me a free lifetime subscription to that editing software I already have a subscription for, and I could have just gave you the code.
Right.
But I wasn't sure if it was required to use the program or not. But it wasn't. It was just it was a less upgraded version. And that's just like worth a lot of money. I mean, that would have been great. Because what do you
I
use now?
I was using like free like
Windows
Sony and a
Movie.
couple other things or whatever.
Yeah, if you get a hold of
Like-
Myke, he has files for a cracked copy of Sony Vegas he likes using because his computer can't run this new one. But I do a subscription thing and I pay like $60 once a year and it gets like it's one of the best editing programs out there. It's like professional
See, I don't
quality.
even know if mine would be able to. I mean, it's a decent little laptop, but it's definitely not what I was wanting. But given the
Yeah.
situation of getting woke up after DJing my niece's wedding to tea being spilt on me and my laptop, and then the laptop not working after that, I kind of had to go with what I could get.
Yeah, Mike's computers, which is my old computer, processor just wasn't enough, so it would constantly crash while he was trying to use it.
Right.
This one they just came out with a beta for AI software on there, where it can create pictures that are AI. So one thing that I can do is like I could just type in like Fall of the House of Usher episode 1 preview, and then
Right.
it'll generate an actual picture that would be good for a thumbnail. Or like
You
audio.
can use like Bing has a thing like that. I think Google has one too.
Yeah.
Like just pretty little basic generic-y ones.
Yeah, this
but-
one's like in-depth like one, and then there's I really am going to use the audio one more because I just run it through our voices, and then it optimizes our voices to sound the best automatically.
Nice.
So I don't have to experiment about changing different pitches because I can change your voice. I can actually program. I can pull your voice that you're talking on my app, and I can do a voice dialogue and put it over what Mike's saying, so I can make Myke sound like you. Like that's
Nice. That is kind of
scary. But
Yeah.
cool.
Creepy, but cool.
Because as long as I have enough of your voice that's been said, I could replicate your anyone's voice and make it sound.
Oh, well, you're
whatever.
making deep fakes.
Yeah, there was a
But
deepfake I
I
saw
ever go
today
to
that
a
was.
certain little website starts with a P, and I find something of me, I'm coming after you.
Yeah, there's a Greta Thunberg one today I saw on TikTok that was somebody had went and made a fake about her talking about, hey, listen, we need to stop this war, but if you do go to war, you need to get vegan grenades.
Just heads of lettuce. Just be chucking heads of lettuce at people.
Somebody clipped together a TikTok of Call of Duty 2 in the very beginning whenever you're throwing potatoes. That's big grenade.
Just
like this is potato. I can't do a Russian accent, but imagine.
This is potato.
Yeah, this is not a
Duh.
grenade. That
What
Call of
you
Duty 2 is my
do?
favorite. Man, it just felt different throwing the potatoes. It felt better. But that was a great time.
Yeah, I do kind of want to play that.
All right, I gotta take a piss. If you could tell a story where I'm gone, I'll be right back.
Tell a story when you're gone.
Yeah, because people got to keep listening.
Wow.
To stuff.
Me tell a story. I mean, you ever been to a concert and have to stand out in the cold in the middle of a snowstorm for an hour? I did that. And then you go inside and you feel like you have frostbite and you're trying to headbang and mosh pit. It is very painful, but fun. Yes. Or almost breaking your arm at a concert. Yeah. That sucks too. Mosh pitting can be a bitch.
So I'm back. I have no general sense of rhythm, so I've never been able to headbang or anything like that.
Really? Yeah, I mean,
That's why I'm not
you
good at
have that
concerts.
issues. Yeah. Yeah, no.
I have the whole thing where I my brain can't concept lyrics. So like any social interaction with music, I'm just not.
Well,
I know you didn't. Well, we went to that concert together.
yeah.
I stood in the back. I stood in the back the whole time.
Yeah.
because I don't react to it.
Right. Well, I mean,
I'm
it's like
literally-
me and
I'm literally just standing there and I'm just like, yes, this is good music.
yeah, like it's like me with reading. Like I can't like so many people are like, oh, why don't you read? I'm like, cause it's boring to me. I can't read and then imagine the images in my head. I can.
So,
But
for
you let me watch a movie, I will imagine myself as the lead character through the entire freaking movie, no problem. Reading, I can't do it.
have you ever tried audiobooks?
Not really. Like I've thought about it.
I tried Audible, and this last year, and I fucking love it. I mean, it makes books so much better. Like I feel like in my brain, I can't conceptualize what's happening in a book if I'm reading it. I always get stuck on like certain words. But audiobooks, they act out the characters. They don't just read it; they act out the characters.
See, I know. I'm always getting emails with having Amazon Prime where I can get like, 2 free audiobooks.
Yeah,
and I'm usually just like,
They have a deal where you pay like $15 a month, and you get one free book every month. And sometimes you get books that take longer to get through. So I'll have several books stacked up, and I'm like, wow, this is great. I love this. But some books are worse. Like I'm going through the Star Wars universe, and like this book that I'm just about to start, the guy who's narrating it. First of all, it takes place before episode 1 starts, and it's just all the political stuff leading up to episode 1 of Star Wars. So it has Palpatine, it has Valorum, and it has Qui-Gon a little bit.
Right.
But the narrator is, I mean, just listen to this.
Royal welcome. Paul gestured Boyne, Rella, and the rest of us.
Okay, you hear his voice?
Yeah.
He's extremely annoying. And he only talks in that voice for all of the characters. The best ones, like they have a Mark Thompson guy, and he narrates most of the Star Wars stuff, and he brings all the characters to life, and they sound like as if you're watching a movie. And it's great. But when you get characters like that, there's just like a really high-pitched, shitty British voice, and they aren't differentiating between the characters. It's like, what is this? So, but yeah, so I would highly suggest it. I mean, they make it for almost every kind of book.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth a shot at some point. I'm always listening to something, have an earbud in when I'm at work, so
yeah,
I'm just used to usually being music.
See, and that's the thing. I listen to podcasts or audiobooks. It's more audiobooks now than podcasts because there's no point to a podcast. People are just talking. That's ironic because we're on a podcast right now. But there's a linear story. Oh God. Let's hope Myke doesn't listen to that one. Anyways, there's a point to books.
Right.
So it's a good appreciative time on that. Also, podcasting is a good excuse to drink because since I live on my own, there's not a lot of good times to drink because you're by yourself.
Seems less depressing that way.
Yeah, if I'm playing Xbox with my buddies, I'm like, hey boys, we drinking tonight? Because I need a drink. I mean, there's still that bar that's right across the street. I just haven't went.
Right, I just don't drink at home.
I like drinking.
I only drink at most twice a week.
I've drank 3 times. This is my 3rd time this week I've drank. But not very much. Just enough to get a little buzz. Yeah. That's all. But yeah, I don't know. I've been kind of changing my mind frame where I'm just like I was looking for a relationship and I'm just like, man, I'm kind of happy right now. Like I don't know. I don't know if I should go and ruin that.
Risk it.
Yeah. There was just one chick I was talking to, just like on a dating app or whatever, and I talked to her for like 10 minutes, and then I guess she was friends with my HR representative, And my HR person walked up to me and she was like, "Hey, so there was this talk of you were talking to some chick on online dating," and I'm just like, I talked to a lot of females. You have
Right.
to be more. She's like Amy, and then I was like, "Oh yeah." Well, and she's like, "Yeah, she gets really attached really fast." And I was like, "I'll say, I just talked to her for like 10 minutes, and she's already, you know." And she's like, "She's a
oh, I
little
talked to this
crazy."
guy.
Yeah, and she's a little crazy, and you shouldn't go out with her. I'm just warning you. And I was just like, I was perplexed because number one, I could see that. I'll probably not talk to this person, but at the same time, you're a shitty friend.
Right, like
Like,
that's coming from a friend, just being like, yeah, that's kind of messed up.
so your friend asked about a guy that you might work with. So your natural reaction is to go up to that guy and say, "Leave her alone. She's crazy."
Yeah, right.
Like, what kind of friend is that? Like, that'd be like
It's,
me talking about you and say, "He has blue hair. You don't want that."
yeah.
it's like,
He's got
it's like you want
issues.
Yeah, it's like
Like, well,
I
shit,
would
yeah,
never.
who doesn't?
I would never do that to a friend ever. Um, so I don't know. I was just like, wow. I mean, I already did not like this lady, but I was
Right,
like, wow. Now I have a triple reason not to like you.
yeah, that's kind of, yeah, definitely messed up for supposedly being friends with the person.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was like, man. And then it felt bad because I was like, well, I'm going to talk to this chick either way. I'm going to give her a chance, right? And I talked to her for
Right.
a little bit, and then today I saw she unmatched with me, and I was like, no. I got rejected. I got rejected by the crazy person.
What does that say about you?
I know. That's like, holy shit. And there was one other chick I was talking to at the same time, and then she stopped responding back, and I was like, okay, I'm not on my game here. Something's going on. I'm gonna take
Yeah.
this as a sign.
Chill, relax, do my own shit.
Yeah. I feel like in the winter time, I feel like I'm incapable of trying to get in a really like I don't know. When it's cold outside, I'm just like I don't want to. Because if you go out on dates or something, a lot of times you want to do something outside when it's nice and there's a lot more
Yeah,
activities to do.
exactly, yeah, like, and then otherwise you're just kind of, oh, hey, well, I'm here. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Go.
And of
Oh,
all
we could go to a
what?
movie or dinner,
Yeah.
like bar.
Yeah, movie or
That's about
dinner.
it.
Yeah, movie or dinner. I really don't think I'd ever want to go to a bar for a date. I've never done that, but it's just so loud.
Yeah. Yeah, in most cases, yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, and the first dates I tried last year, a movie was terrible. A restaurant I went to fucking Texas Roadhouse
Mm.
for a date. I don't know if you know how Texas Roadhouse is on a Saturday night, but it's loud as shit.
Yeah, I haven't. It's been a long time since I've been to one.
That date was awful because literally I just said the entire time she was talking about her ex-boyfriend.
Oh, I think I remember you had talked about that one before.
Yeah, and she had already ghosted me once and then reconnected and then the whole time I mean at one point I was like, "So you over your ex?" And then she's like, "No." I was like, "Why are
Well,
we here then?"
yeah, it's kind of a red flag-ish of sorts.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck are we doing? I don't
Right.
know, and I don't want to waste my time, and I feel like I'm
Yeah.
wasting time a lot of the time. So,
Hmm.
I don't know. But yeah, and then
Damn it.
I'm currently icing my fucking ankle with Tostitos pizza rolls. Is that
Oh,
what?
yeah. You had said something about hurting your ankle, but we never got into what.
So I was at work, and my older coworker, the one that only works like 2 days, was like, "Hey, I've got to go pull this Pit Boss grill. It's like a vertical smoker. They're about 300 pounds." And
Right.
he was like, "Can you come help me pull it?" And I was like, "Sure." And right now, it's the off season, so that aisle is overflowing with shit. Like toolboxes stacked on top of toolboxes, stacked on top of toolboxes. So, um, basically what happened was it was behind some other things. So it was actually behind two other things that were just above where it was at. So I had to crawl on top of it and over something to get on top of something, and then I actually had to heave it from that lower standpoint to on top of that, flip it over once, and then flip it down in between two boxes. So I had done that, and I jumped down from there, and I didn't think anything of it, and we got it all loaded up. And then after it was done, I was like, why does it hurt when I set my foot down? And then I was like, hey, Rich, I think I might have sprained my ankle or something. And then I've had a real bad limp since then. And if I put all my weight on my back ball of my leg hurts really bad.
Yeah, probably.
So I'm like, holy shit! But it had to have been the jump from the top of a box, probably about 4 feet up, to hitting the concrete floor.
Just
must have
land wrong or something.
Yeah, maybe just agitated my leg or something, because it's feeling a lot better since. I mean, it's not swollen or anything, I'd say.
Right.
But it definitely. And I have to work. Tomorrow's my 6th day of working in a row, and I have to do that tomorrow. So.
I mean, my ankle still gives me problems from deciding I was going to high five the crosswalk thing.
High five in the crosswalk.
Yeah, the little hand thing outside of 505. I went to high five it, and I came down. And I landed with my foot sideways.
Well, that's not good. Well, I've
Yeah.
never really twisted.
I did that
ankle.
That was like years ago. That was like 4 or 5 years ago. I did that, and it still gives me problems.
Like, I've never had an ankle injury before.
Growing up, I would twist my ankle all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I've had wrists. Wrists are my biggest issue more than anything else.
Right.
It's
all
breakages.
That repetitive motion.
Well, that, and when I was a baby, a window seal fell. Like, it was propped up by a wooden block, and I pushed the wooden block out, and the window sill fell and broke both my growth plates in my wrists. And actually, my parents took me to the hospital, and good old Fredonia Hospital said, "Oh no, he's fine. Nothing's broken. He's all good." And I was crying for like 3 days, apparently. And then they called and said, "Hey, listen, we got the X-rays mixed up. They are terribly broken. You need to come in right now."
Oh my god, that is like a lawsuit.
Yep. Another time is they almost wanted to give me they wanted to remove my appendix. And we were just about to go into surgery. And then they said, "Hey, we want to try something right before you go in." I was like, "Okay, cool." And they gave me gas pills, for when you can't fart.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I farted a lot. And I said, "Hey, I don't hurt no more." And they said, "All right, you just had gas."
That was the same hospital?
Same hospital.
Wow. Yeah, don't fucking go there.
Yep. The third and final thing that I did there is, remember my tumor things that I had in my throat?
Yeah.
I got a biopsy done, and it was one of those biopsies where they guided in there with an ultrasound. And they're, they stick the needle in the throat and all that, and they're trying to get a biopsy of it. And the needle broke in my throat. And the doctor said, and I'm awake for the surgery, by the way. The doctor looks at me, I look at him, and he says, "Uh-oh."
That's not something you want to hear during surgery.
Yeah,
not at all.
Yeah. And he literally was like, "Well, usually cancer's soft, so it's probably not cancerous. We'll just leave it in there."
I guess that's.
He was right. I eventually got it removed, and it was not cancerous, but it could have been. It was just a regular tumor, or 5 regular tumors.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It was just a growth.
Yeah, just, that would sometimes turn sideways in my throat, and I couldn't breathe.
Yeah. Nothing bad.
Nothing wrong with that. No, they would burn. Like, if I was exercising, they would actually burn in my throat, and it felt like I had lumps of fire in my throat.
Yeah.
So
that don't sound like fun at all.
That made when we ran jiu-jitsu incredibly fun. So But, anyways, yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Hmm.
and then I guess tonight is the eve of a very important holiday.
Good night. Oh, remember.
No, the time changed.
Yeah.
Oh, is
yeah,
it?
that does
It's
change.
the 5th of November. It is the
Yeah,
5th of November tomorrow.
Yeah,
Nice. That was a good
Which-
reference. Your
yeah.
Vendetta.
yeah. It also
Uh,
is the anniversary of my uncle's death, but that's beside the point.
oh man. See, if I was editing this instead of just doing a mass record and then upload, I would go through there and add the clip. But since we're doing a 2-hour podcast, I'm not going to sit through and watch two. It's rough enough listening to a 20. The last episode that I just put out was a 22-minute one, and I heavily edited the first half of the episode, and then the second half I was like, it's good.
Screw it.
'Cause I
Yeah.
was gonna put the ratings on the screen and stuff, and then I was like, I'll get around to that and add a sound effect whenever you know. So
I mean,
I was
yeah.
I was proud of the copyright thing. No copyright. Which thankfully on the first 2 episodes, I don't know if you saw it, they are copyright, but Netflix is okay with you using it, so it's not a
Yeah.
copyright strike, and they did not request us to take it down.
Yeah, I didn't look at it, but I remember you guys talking about it and stuff.
Yeah. Basically, Netflix, if we made money off of it, Netflix could
They
be
would.
entitled to a portion of it.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
because it's their content. I mean, the first one, I
Right.
basically just fucking copy and pasted a scene and played the scene.
so I mean, yeah, it's better than nothing in that aspect, I guess.
Yeah, and I mean, it's gotten us views and all that stuff. If you notice, we're down to 599. We have dropped up and down from 600 to 599 subscribers all day, like 4 times back and forth.
I haven't honestly looked at it. I need to get in there and look at it and keep track of it more than I have been.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking much better than what we were. But it's just kind of a bummer. Like, we're up 7 subscribers this month, which was 250% more than last month because we weren't doing shit.
Yeah, no, there was that there was definitely that period with absolutely nothing going on.
Well, because I was so Myke was only supposed to be gone for 2 months and then tops, and it's 6 months. And I was like, man, and it really bummed me out with the wrestling league because, like, on top of doing the YouTube thing, I couldn't solely do the YouTube thing and run that league. That was stressing me out too much. And the mold issue that I was having, like, it was just a big combination.
Everything and
yeah, and everyone.
That's
just
like I
like,
said at the beginning of this, we all kind of have been dealing with stuff. So
yeah, I think every one of us had something significant that we're like, man, this is so. It's been a rough fall, I would say, for all of us.
Oh yeah, I mean this period isn't ever that great for me to begin with. So
yeah, I've had a lot of friends
won't
and
be
family.
Much better.
Yeah, I've had a lot of friends and family that I've lost during the winter time. There was a period of time for like 4 or 5 years in a row where I had somebody die every winter.
Right. Yeah.
in the same month, and I'm just like, is this a curse? What's going on here?
Yeah, it's always around then. Like I realized at one point, like almost every job I would get quit or fired would be in between like October and New Year's.
That's the worst time because not a lot of people are hiring.
Yeah, and I was like I left KFC the one time and went to the job for Best Buy call center.
Yeah.
Like October. And then I think like it was a few months late. I think it might have been December or January when they fired me.
Yeah.
And shit. I mean, I left Jolly Fox and started Dylan's in November.
Honestly, that was a really good move.
Oh yeah, that one.
Food and going to retail.
I mean, I'm still dealing with food, but different aspects. Still occasionally have them wanting me to take over and help with deli, but I'm like, nope, I'm retired from fried chicken. 2 shoulder surgeries, and all that time, I'm good.
So, Myke just posted in the chat, everybody, if you look at here. So he just got a new puppy. That's the way he was talking. Yeah, you got a Dachshund. So
He mentioned something about a puppy when he was in the chat, so
it's a cute little guy. Yo, doesn't he have enough responsibility?
right? Sound like Stone Cipher over there, having a baby and a puppy at the same time.
Yo, my stepsister, she's about to have a kid, and she couldn't take care of her first 2 kids, and she has like 3 or 4 dogs. It's like, what are you doing there, lady?
Right.
No, she'll never watch this, especially an hour and 50 minutes in.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna
Just
talk
save all the
shit.
shit talking for at the very end, then people will phase out.
Yeah, our average watch time is 40 seconds, so no way somebody's gonna get this far. Someday somebody's gonna look back on this and go like, actually, he said this here. So
Just like those motherfuckers.
that is a cute dog, but it's a small dog. And I don't know if you remember me bitching about when I had a small dog. They're the devil. They're the worst. They're amped
yeah.
up. I bought a brand
I
new
mean-
fucking headset one time, and she chewed it up within a week, and my glasses.
I mean, even the dog we have that was my mom's, he's a small one, and he'll bark at every fucking
Listen.
sound there is.
See, I'm stuck in between 2 things. I am a very big dog person. I love having bugs there to cuddle and pet and have somebody there all the time, right? Like that kind of helped me with the breakup and all that good stuff, right?
Right.
I'm so glad I don't have him anymore, because even though he's a really good dog, there were still a lot of problems. And I don't miss having the pet, but I do miss having a pet. It's just I don't want to deal with the shit, all that piss, letting them out on time or not. Like,
I like having the cats. I haven't had a dog since the one I had that my dad actually stole off of a front porch. After the one we had puppies, and my sisters and mine both died of like parvo. And then my dad went to this house to see, and they had like free puppies signs. Nobody was home, so he just grabbed one and left.
See, I thought about getting a cat, but I felt like that would be kind of a betrayal to Bugs, because I didn't take him up here because the apartments. Well, the chick at the time didn't let me have that, so I just dumped him on my parents. And my parents obviously are super attached because their other dog just died. So now my stepdad has a best friend again, and he goes to all his workshops, and he has so much more room to run around. At the same time, it's like Bugs is like my dog. I can't just go get a cat.
Yeah,
it's just,
I can get that. I mean, I'm still in that same aspect with the dog I had. We have, what was Winston? That was Mom's dog. I'm good with that. I deal with him half the time when he's not bugging my sister, so. Everything, so.
Yeah. See, Myke even just said on the chat, like he said, I have a baby, a puppy, and a cat that needs my emotional support, and a cat that thinks she's a bird, and now he has a dog.
Yeah, I didn't even think about the fact that he had the 2 cats too.
Yeah, and one of them has AIDS or something.
I don't know what the fuck's wrong with the one.
Yeah, he's like, I remember talking to Myke about it, and he was like, "Yeah, this one cat's okay. She just got some health problems." Like, "Oh yeah, what's wrong?" "She's got AIDS," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, you need to get rid of that one right now."
Yeah, it's just some health problems. That's all.
Just a
nothing wrong at all.
And I got a male cat that likes to have sex too. I hope that's not a problem.
Yeah. My cat's all good. He just meows and along to Queen songs. It's all good.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, what are we doing here, boys? No. I wish Myke the best. I just hope that.
Oh yeah. Hopefully he's not taking on more than they can handle.
Yeah.
Especially a new puppy, that shit can be hyperactive, and around a baby, that can be a little questionable.
Well, if I was in that situation, I would be getting rid of all the animals, and my primary focus would be the baby.
Right. Well, I mean, at least, well,
and then you can get animals.
Most cats kind of do their own shit, but he has
Yes.
He has the one that he's had for a while that has the issues with chewing himself raw and stuff. So
just think about the gross amount of shit that is produced in that house between 4 pets, a baby, and 2 humans.
I mean, I fully know that because we have a dog. I have 2 cats. My sister has 3 cats. So there's 5 cats and a dog in this apartment.
Yeah. Yeah. Which for me, I'm a 1 pet person. If I'm in a relationship, 1 per person.
Yeah.
2 people. 2, a pet and then a pet's friend.
Yeah.
You know, they gotta have a buddy.
Right.
So, but yeah, so I mean, I don't know. That's exciting news for Myke and MykeCheck'd Productions.
New mascot. It's
new
Bark
mascot.
Bark.
New guest in our live streams.
Likely, if he's around it, I'm sure he'll pop on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, technically, half of this live stream, I've had one of my cats on my lap.
There you go.
So
I've had a beer.
Now she's near my feet, but
I've had 4 beers on my lap.
There you go. That's the best pet.
My one never shits everywhere unless you drink too many of them.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
I mean, only problem with that pet, yeah, if you get too much of it, it'll make you sick.
Yeah. So.
Although if it's beer, I would have like 2 sips, and that would be too much.
Not a big fan.
I don't do beer.
Yeah.
Give me
some Coors.
Give me the wine and the vodka.
Well, we're down to the last 3-minute stretch here, and then it'll auto turn off. So just to make sure we have enough time, we're gonna go and wrap this one up. I mean, I think this is a pretty good podcast.
For a quick random throw together and not really having much to actually talk about, yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, and sometimes you don't, and really we haven't, because our time has been sparse. It's like once every 3 weeks So it's nice to catch up and get a chance to kind of bullshit for a little bit.
Yeah, and plus I hadn't been on for probably the last 2 or 3 of them, so.
Yeah. So, and a lot of times when there's 3 people, I don't think you get a chance to talk as much because me and Myke just kind of go off the rails.
Yeah,
so
it's other than when we start talking about AEW, or I'll pop in here and there. So.
Yeah, because honestly, I had enough shit to talk about. I could have ran probably a 5-hour podcast before. That's why when you're like, I don't really have much to talk about, I'm just like, trust me, bro, I got you.
Right.
I will. Worst comes to worst, I will fucking rant about Star Wars for 45 minutes.
As I'm just sitting here going,
trying to catch up. Meanwhile, I'm fucking 4 things ahead.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here going. No.
Malgus did what? It's like what?
Was that the one that did the?
Yeah. So I feel bad because sometimes my brain goes a million miles an hour, and then other people are like way behind back there, and I'm like, "What? You have to listen."
How far back are you? What the fuck? Yeah, but yeah, we got what, probably a minute and a half ish now.
We're down to the final 60 seconds here, so I'll go ahead and close. Yep, 1 minute and 3 seconds. I'll go and close us out here. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you have made it this far, please make sure to subscribe, like our content. We will be back soon, maybe within a couple days for our next podcast instead of a couple weeks. This is Krieger Margin with Lice and Fang signing out.